Hello, welcome back to one of my videos. We are going to continue with the Squiggly Squad video. This will be the last one. Look in the playlist for the ones previously on how to make first the crocheted head, then the crocheted disc, and then the tentacles. We are now going to be ending off the tentacle, sewing it up, and then doing the stuffing and the eyes. And then your Squiggly Squad will be finished. So this is where we are. I use a sock to keep all the tentacles that I'm not working on out of the way. And we've come to the very last tentacle. Before I get to that, what do we need for the finishing off of the squiggly? We need 30 to 40 centimeters of black yarn. We need stuffing, a selection of darning needles and chenille needles, and I use a pencil to stuff, and the rubber stopper makes the whole difference, and a pair of sharp needles, a pair of sharp scissors. So let's put these aside for now so that we can finish off the squiggly. Listening to YouTube videos. Oh, before I go any further, I was cutting beetroot tonight for supper, forgetting that I was a YouTube star, or rather my hands are a YouTube star, and so you have beetroot hands. That's how life goes. So this has all been tucked away in the sock. Very, very handy. And I have come to the end of the last tentacle. Crochet hook is in there, and let's zoom in. Get myself positioned. So let me see, because I got a little bit twisted. So where were we? Because I put it aside so that I could do this video. So we're on the second to last loop. I've single crocheted into that loop, US terms. Now I'm going to single crochet into this one. And I'm going to single crochet into the last one. It fell out, but it's okay, I picked it up. And we are going to attach it to the wall, as I call it, the single crochet wall. Now, whether you go in and fetch the yarn and pull it all the way through, or whether you go in and fetch the yarn and then go again and pull it all the way through, it's up to you. What you just want to do is you want to fill the gap that would otherwise be created here if you did not do that. So now we filled up that gap, and we have the very last stitch to do. So I go in, and it is actually at the base of the first octopus tentacle. Pull it in, and I'm just going to slip stitch it all the way through. This is where I cut the yarn. I cut enough that I can work it away without straining. It's about 15 centimeters. And now I'm going to work this little piece away. You can go for a, that's what my favorite one. Let me see. I want one. It's got a bit of a sharp point, but it's got a big head as well. So what I'm going to do is just join the last tentacle to the first tentacle. Just slip it in, come back, slip it in, and there you have completed all your tentacles. Now it's just a matter of working this tail away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work it down, and then I'm going to leave it, because later on, when it's stuffed, I want to work it in and out. It'll be easier once it is stuffed to go back and forth, but I'll show you what I mean by that. For now, we want to stuff it. I'm going to zoom out again because it's easier to see me doing that if I have more space on the screen. Remember, we left the hole open. We left it large. We did not close it. And we did not work all the way up to the top. So the stuffing, you can start by putting it in with your finger. I've worked this stuffing separate. So, I've teased it a bit so it's not a big clump. And you can work it with your finger to start off with, or you can immediately use the pencil. It really doesn't matter. He is going to be stuffed hard, firm, hard, whatever term you'd like to use. Depending on what you've purchased, it will have a different result. Some stuffings, no matter how much you stuff them, your finished object will always be springy, jumpy. That's really nice for teddies. If you want a nice big cuddly teddy, then you want it to bounce back. When the little child squashes the teddy, you want him to bounce back. You know, you don't want the stuffing to sit in a corner. Now this particular stuffing, look, it sits in a corner. There are some stuffings, all I had to do was put a little bit in and it would fill up the whole thing. But for these octopus, because I want them to be overstuffed, it doesn't matter that I'm using the stuffing. If anything, it's actually to my advantage to use this particular stuffing. But I would not like to use the stuffing for a soft teddy. And I'm sure as this kind of stuffing, that if it was washed, it would clump in the corner. And you would not want that in a nice soft teddy. But this little octopus, he's going to have so much put into him that when he's washed, which he will be, it will not matter. You think, how much stuffing can you possibly get in there? Oh, you'll be amazed. My little Zimba she's dreaming. She's 4 months old. She's just a little thing. She looks like a little lion, so we call her Zimba. Oh, that must be enough. I can get more in there. Really, you saying? Yeah, I had a whole box full. I'm gonna stuff them until there's no more space left. Pencil is absolutely marvelous for this. I tried many different things. I tried the back of a wooden spoon. I tried all kinds of things, and the pencil definitely. I think it was actually another YouTuber who might have given me that idea. You can put your finger in, and you can See if there's any space. I'm moving the stuffing down. I'm going to need a little bit of space for, once I've done the eyes and the nose, I'll put a little bit of stuffing above just to hide the black yarn. Okay, this is going to be lovely. I'm happy with this. Squash them a little bit just to move it around before I place the eyes and the nose. There we go. Of course, we're going to be working the eyes and the nose from the top. Close it a little bit, but not all the way. Also, they're closed afterwards, once the black thread has been safely put away. So, where's my black thread? Pencil has done its job for now. I will need it just now. So I'm working black on black, which is unfortunate, but once we get into the body, you'll be able to see it. I'm choosing a thin, long chenille. I've noticed if the needle is too thick, and especially if it's blunt, it's almost impossible to get it through the stuffing, because the stuffing, this particular stuffing, is so compact. Let's look for the back. Where's the back? There's the seam. So that is going to be the back of our little octopus. We'll turn that to the back. As a general guideline, I use one of these guys up here, one of these lines. I come down, do the nose, and then I do the eyes underneath. But I do count. Once I've done one eye, I count how many bars are between the nose and the eye. I start always with the nose. And then I place a needle, and you'll see I place a needle and I come and do the other eye, just so that you get an even look. A lot of precise science. I come in from the head and I choose how low my nose is going to be to make sure that I don't have anything that can get caught. Like I want to remove this little tiny hair here. So I decide myself, that's the back. Once I got the back, I'm going to come down underneath this one here. Oh, there's one other tool that I forgot to mention. It's a pair of pliers with insulation tape on. And that I use to pull. You can try with your fingers, but more often than not, it's going to be very hard. Then I go until I have a tail. So this is actually more like a 50 centimeter piece of yarn. It's a bit too long. I don't need it that long. But this tail here, I need for because I'm going to tie off with the other tail later. Then the nose. Do we go down? Do we go up? I think I'm going to go up. I don't go very far. The thing is, you don't want to have the yarn stretched too far, because the little kitty could pick at it. And you don't want that. You don't want them to pick their fingers underneath this yarn, because they will pick at the eyes and the nose. Is what they do, little kitties. Do nice and firm. Then I'm going to go back in there, and with the sharp pointed chenille, I'm actually catching some of the fibers of the nose. And then I'm going to come out where I think I want to place the eye. The first eye doesn't matter. It's the second eye you've got to make sure you got in the right position. What I should have noted as well is that you don't want to go just underneath Look, if you go just underneath like that, when you pull it through, you'll be able to see the black. You want to go down underneath the stuffing and then come out, so that the black yarn is hidden behind the stuffing. My little eyes, these particular ones, are just little bars. But you can make different eyes if you want. You can make them sleeping eyes. My Squiggly Squad team have little bars. I'm going to make 2, and then I'm going to make another one. So he's going to have 3 bars for his eyes, coming out using this finger here to guide it. And we'll go back in, catch some of the black. And now I have to go all the way over to the side. And that's where I need to count. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, other side the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where my other eye is going to be. Then I ask myself, how high is it? About there. Let's put it about there. As I said, it's not an exact science. Okay, intersection of those two. That's why I've got a whole selection of needles. If you want to, you can go back to the nose and you can work once and then you can do the eye. The nose can be like your anchor point. So I've come out at that junction. Use my pliers. Now I want this to be firmly in the eye, but I don't want it to distort the shape of the head. So now that he's deeply in the eye, I'm going to take a blunt needle and I'm going to move the stuffing just to reposition that eye a bit. Otherwise, it's going to distort your head. I really enjoy making the eyes and the nose. So it looks like it's fiddly and everything, but once you get into a rhythm of it, it's very enjoyable. 1. Just remember your count. Mine is 3. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less. The thickness of your yarn that you're working with makes a huge difference in the construction of the eye. So that's going to be 3. So I'm not going to go down to the bottom, otherwise I'm going to end up with 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight back to the nose. Remember to go deep and then come out, because I want to anchor this eye by going to the nose first before I go to the top of the head. Very happy with that. Go back into the nose. I'm going to go very deep. Come out the top of the head. It gets a pumpkin feeling, doesn't one? With the top of the head, almost as if we're making Halloween pumpkin heads. I think if he was orange, he would definitely look like a pumpkin head. I'm happy with that. Cut the tail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few knots. I don't pull on it. I just make the knot as low down as possible without distorting the nose and the eyes. So I've made 3 knots. Once I've done that, I'm going to cut it off and Where's my pencil? I'm going to go and stick it deep inside. A couple of swirls. Make it a little bit more stuffing. I see there's created a hole there. As I said, the nature of your stuffing will definitely determine how easy or difficult this is going to be, because some stuffing will just literally jump out again. It's very odd but that's how it is. You might have to try different commercial brands of stuffing to see which one you like the most. Close the top of the head. Use my pencil again. See, the pencil's there's a little bit of head still there, a little bit of lead. Now I'm going to work these away. I'm going to use a fatter one. Which direction does it go in? You can go around a number of times. Once you feel it's nicely anchored, you can come out somewhere, catch a thread, go back in, catch a thread. I can't go too deep because it's blunt. It won't go into the stuffing if it's blunt. But because I'm working on white, I can go just underneath if I want. Literally underneath the skin of little pumpkin head. I'll cut that one off so I know that I'm finished with him. And now I'm going to work the other one. Just to close this gaping wound. Come down again a bit. We do want it to be secure. Change the needle if I want. I can go to a thinner one. Thinner needle. You can buy packets of chenille needles. They sell them in packets usually of 6 with different sizes in the packet. And the same with darning needles. You can buy a packet of darning needles with different sizes in, either online or from your local haberdashery. And it's really practical to have as many different sizes as possible. Because every task, sometimes one task like this one here can require quite a few different needle sizes. Cut it off. If you have a little bit sticking out, you just lift it up, boom, gone. Now we're coming down to the blue one, and because I'm working in the crochet, and the crochet is not as yielding as the knitted stuff, I'm definitely going to go for a sharp chenille. And a thin, sharp and thin, and long. So where did we end up? We ended up there. I want to go a little bit more into the heart of it and come out on the side. Once I'm out on the side, I can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't have to do too much because it's really well worked away there. Catch one thread. If you do catch a thread here, always pull it a little bit so it doesn't distort. This is to work the thread away. Does not have to be pulled tightly like you do with the eyes and the nose, which you want to keep the eyes and the nose in their place. This is you just working the thread away. I do it one more time, just mainly for demonstration, otherwise I could have cut it off already. Cuts it off. And the same thing. Blunt, large, go in, pull the skin away from the stuffing, and there you go. He is completed. Isn't he gorgeous? And now he can join the ranks of the squigglies. These two are identical, but they are the prototypes that I was working on. And if you look in the playlist, it's a video of the different prototypes, but not how to make them, just that I made different ones. See, I was trying to work out different ways of getting the squiggly. But I'm very, very happy with this prototype. Very happy with it. It has character, and yet it is firm and solid. And the stuffing won't come out the bottom, it won't come out the top, and the body is well anchored onto the crocheted part. And may he have a happy little life, this little squiggly. Go off and meet his owner one day. Some little child is waiting for him. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you have a lot of fun. And remember, if you change colors, you get a different result. And what I really want to explore is squigglies with multicolored yarn. For now, I'm working on my prototype, so the squigglies are unicolors, but you can have a lot of fun if you start using multicolored yarn. Okay, cheers, cheers.